This is a tool you are going to use to manage your small business where you're going to track. I'm using an example for selling shoes. So we have shoe sizes, and on the column B, these shoes belong either to boys or girls. Then the selling price of those of the shoes, then the quantity in stock. The sales will come here, the date sold, customer's name, shoe size, which will be a drop down of the shoe sizes we have on column A here. Then description is a VLOOKUP of we look up for the shoe size to get the description. Then the quantity sold, the unit cost. The unit cost will be a VLOOKUP from what we'll be selling here. Then the inventory in is the date we bought the inventory, the shoe size, which is a drop down, then description for either it's a boy or a girl, buying price, we'll enter this manually. Quantity is quantity that we bought, that is inventory in. Then cost of goods is a calculation of the buying price times the quantity. And later, of course, we'll have the selling price so that you can calculate the profitability for your business. So we start from here. I've put descriptions here. This is a drop down. This is either boy or a girl. So I'll put this under data validation. Go to data, any value, then list. Then the source here will be either boy, comma, girl. Then click OK. So this becomes boy or girl, and I can drag this down. So it's not entirely for boys, but I know J1 to J6 is girl, so I'll pick that there. Then C8 and C9 also belongs to girl, like this. So once you've defined that, the selling price, we'll put this as a random number between say 1,000 and 2,500. So I'll say random between, I'll randomize this between a number like 1,000 and 2,500. But since it will give me continuous numbers between 1,000 and 2,500, I need to round this down. I'll round it down to thousands. So I'll write round and then round this minus 3. So I round it down to thousands. Copy this down up to this point. Then I copy these values and paste back as values like that. Change that. Okay. Quantity in stock is something we'll come back to next once we have our inventory in. Now, after this, we now build our sales sheet. So here from sales here, we know that you need a date. So we'll do a validation here so that anything that you enter here must be a date. So data validation, then allow here, allow a date, and then the date, if it is within 2024, I'll say is between January 1, 2024 and 31st 12 December 31st 2024. So I know this will be used in this current year when I'm recording this video. Then click OK. I'm going to drag this down, say up to row number 18. So anything I put here must be a date. If you put one or enter one, it can't accept. Though this must be a date. Customer name is text. I don't have any issue with that. You can enter anything you want. Then shoe size is a drop down from the inventory description. So it will be data validation, then allow a list, and the list will come from the shoe size here. And you can always add, should I have more shoe sizes? I can always increase this. You see now this up to 18. Click OK, then drag this up to 18. Of course, this we can drag this up to a larger, a bigger size. But for now, let me just use that for this video. The description, if for example I pick shoe size C3, we want the sales table here to automatically pick the description from the inventory description, whether it's a boy or a girl. So we'll come here, this shoe size is C3. Now we use is equals to VLOOKUP. So I look up, now I'm looking up for the shoe size in table array. So pick inventory description, pick the entire column. So look at this, picking A to D, so that as the list increases or the shoe sizes increase, automatically my formula is able to pick. Then I can press F4 to lock A and D. My description is in column 1, 2. So column index will be 2 and range lookup is 0, or we call it false for exact match. Then click OK. Then I drag this down. Now, for places that we don't have, or for cells that we don't have any value, it's going to bring us here an error. So what I'm going to do is add here if error, type if error, then value if error. I'm going to put a dash, so comma like this. So anything that is an error will, or if it's not, if I don't pick the shoe size, then it will return an error like that. So that is fine, but this is incomplete without the date of purchase. So I can qualify and say the shoes, the description ought to be blank should this date be blank. So we put here another that says is equals to if this cell here is equal to 0, then return a dash. Otherwise, do the if error as shown on the formula, press enter. So this one will return a dash if there is no date, even if you have the shoe size. So it means you'll have to update this down. You must enter the date here, 1/1/20, 24, this January 2024, for it to give you the description. We can also qualify that for the unit cost and the quantity. The quantity is a figure that we'll be entering whenever we sell, and then the unit cost will come from the inventory description here. And be careful, should these prices change, you'll need a more complex formula to make sure that the price that we have it here does not change over the period of that sale. Otherwise, you'll have to be changing this manual or overwriting the formulas, so that whenever you have sold here, if there's a change in price, it doesn't change this. That is needs more creativity to achieve. So for this case, I'm going to pick VLOOKUP for the unit cost, lookup for the shoe size here in the inventory cost, and give me what is in column number 3. Then range lookup is false. You can substitute false and 0 together. So I'll get the unit cost there and pull this down. Again, this one gives me errors because this side is the lookup column is blank. So if you select whatever you're looking at here, it will give you the price. But since I don't have yet, I've not sold yet, I'm going to include if error, put if error there, then value if error, I put a dash for that where there is an error, so that whenever I pick like that, there is gives me a dash instead. Now the amount will be quantity times 1000, so it gives me like that. Again, I need to put here if error, so that whenever I don't have any quantity, it gives me either 0 or a dash. So if error, value if error, I'm using a dash. Other people would want to use 0 or X or whichever value you want to put in between the parentheses. Now we have the sales table well designed. Now this looks good. Let's make it like that. Now if I sell, say today, I sell to a customer named James. The shoe size is C5, it's for a boy, and I'm selling a quantity of 2. Here I sell a quantity of 1. I sell it again to another customer in February 10, 2024. Then sell to John. Then the shoe size here is C9. It's for a girl, but it buys 10 items there, and you get 20,000. Now you can put total sales down here, but that is not important now. We'll create reports for that. Now we go to the inventory in. The inventory in will help us in tracking our sales there, so that we don't sell items that are not on stock. So the shoe size will again be VLOOKUP or a lookup. You can also use XLOOKUP if you want. Other people would want to write, if I want to say the shoe size. So the shoe size will be an inventory description. You can either put a drop down from there. So go to data, data validation, then the list will come from the inventory description there. Okay, so I have the inventory there. Load the first one, say C8, and then the description will come from VLOOKUP, or for this time let's use X lookup. So X lookup, look for this shoe size in the array that is column A and return column B, like that. Just simple as that. So you have it like that, and drag this down to whichever number that you want. You also drag this, of course, come here, drag this down so that you have the validation across the rows. The buying price, so for example, I pick this as C3, I pick here C4, and pick here C6. This is my inventory in. I brought this in January 1, 2024, January 3rd, 2024, and another on February 1, 2024. For the purposes of so consistency, C3 here, they're selling C3 at 1,000. So I'll say I bought this at 600. C4 is 2,000. I'm going to put this as 1,200 or say 2,500. Then C6, I bought it at 2,000. So I'll make that say 1,900. In January, I brought here 10 units each, like that. Now I have my inventory sorted. Finally, once you have this, and this is something that you're going to input all the time, it's always good for you to go to the inventory description and find out how many items are in stock and what is being sold at any one time. So quantity in stock will be will use is equals to sum if. So using the inventory in, I'll say sum for me based on the shoe size, and pick for me this shoe size, then give me the total quantity that I bought on column A, then click OK. You'll see C3, the quantity in stock is 10. I drag this down and I have that. But I need to now calculate what is stock out. So stock out will be summing the quantity for sales. So I'll come here and type is equals to sum if. Then the sum if I'm going to sum the shoe size based on the criteria, which is C3, and I sum what was sold on column E. Then I click OK. Then I drag this down. Now the balance will come from here, which will be the quantity in stock minus stock out. Then I drag this down. Now from here, I can easily create flags based on my stock out. For values that are below 0, I'm going to mark them in red. So go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. For quantities that are less than 0, I'm going to leave it at default in that red, or come here to custom and put my custom value, which I'm going to fill with red, and the font size I'm going to put it as white, like that. That will be my stock out. So create a legend here that says if it is red, then that is stock out. The next one is if it is between 0 and 10, that is below 10, then I'll say that is a low stock, and then above 10 will be goods in stock, or the stock is cool, is just fine. So select this conditional formatting, highlight cell rules. for values between 1 and 9, like that. I'm going to put that as amber. So go to fill, then have here, see, kind of just put that color there, then click OK, then OK. So anything that is between 1 and 9 is low stock. So I'm going to pick the same color here and say this is low stock or low inventory. You can put low, you can type low inventory for that matter. Use low inventory. Then otherwise, if it is above 10, I'm going to mark it with green to say my inventory is good. So in the same selection, values that are greater than 10, like that, will be marked as, so actually it should be, so I mark them as green, like that. So greater than 9 like this. If it's greater than 9, then custom format, I've put green, then okay, like that. Then create the key here, so that if it is green, then I'll say inventory is okay. Now I'm good to go. Now time to sell. Now I can create some sales. Say, for example, I see here that C9 is out of stock, so I need to bring in at least about 11 of them to have good stock, because this is negative 10. So I'll go to the inventory and restock C9. So come here, I'm going to restock that today and say I'm going to stock C9, buying this at 1500, and then selling, I want to bring in 21 units, like that. So when you bring in 21 units, when you go to this on the inventory description here, you'll see that my C9 has been restocked and is now at 11 and automatically turns to 11. I hope this template helps you to develop your own sales and inventory tracking tool. Leave your comments on my channel and I'm going to answer to your questions. Thanks for watching.